Philadelphia, San Jose, or DC, Los Angeles Galaxy.
Pitch Pass.
Colorado Rapids, Vancouver Whitecaps, Seattle Sounders, Montreal Impact, Plus USA, New York Red Bulls.
Pitch Pass, your all-access credential to the people that matter in MLS. Here's your host, Greg Roach.
Welcome to the latest Pitch Pass. How are you? Thank you for downloading it. We appreciate it. Philadelphia Union fans, I know that you're coming to the table thanks to our first guest, but let me remind you also, Sebastian Salazar, who covers Houston Dynamo for Comcast Sportsnet, is also on the show, and he will join us later. But first, a guy that I'm really excited to talk about. He seems like just one of the nicest, funniest guys, at least as far as MLS players are concerned, on Twitter, and I'm glad we finally get to talk to him now. He is midfielder / defender Amobi Okugo, and he joins Pitch Pass right now. Amobi, how are you, my friend?
Good. How's everything going? Thank you for having me.
Oh, great. Thank you for taking the time. Although, I'm not sure how much soccer talk we're going to get to because I follow you on Twitter. You're one of the very good follows, and I actually have a lot of follow-up questions about things that you tweet about. Can I hit you with some questions and follow-ups for you?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Some people say I tweet too much, though. So I'm glad you're one of them.
Wait, who says that?
Just a couple of guys on the team, like Jack and stuff like that.
Okay, because Jack never tweets. That's probably why he says you tweet too much.
Yeah.
You tweet.
Jack's one of those shy guys, so.
You're tweeting enough for both of you guys. I like that, though. Balances it out.
Thank you.
So what did we find out as far as best sports movie? What did we all come to an agreement, a consensus on? Because I saw you having a back and forth with Shin Guardian over this.
Oh, yeah. Remember the Titans is in a league of its own, so it's before number one. So it goes Remember the Titans, of course. And then, in my opinion, I have Ali and then Friday Night Lights for 2 and 3. But apparently Shin Guardian has never seen Ali, so he still has to wait to see that one.
And it's weird because after you threw that out there, I was like, oh, I wonder what some of the best sports movies of all time, like as voted on, are. And do you know what the number one was? I think it's one that everybody knows. I've never seen it though. Is Raging Bull.
Oh, I've never seen that. Maybe I need to go see that and make a whole new list.
But your Remember the Titans was in the top 10. Here's the one that threw me, though. And you mentioned Will Smith movies in Ali. You know what the higher-rated Will Smith sports movie is?
Which one?
The Bagger Vance golf movie.
Oh, are you serious?
That's higher than Ali.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it might be because people didn't like Ali when he was a boxer because of how cocky he was, but I don't know.
Have you ever seen The Legend of Bagger Vance?
Yes, I saw. I've only seen it once. It's not a movie that I've seen twice.
And to me, that's a sports movie. Is one where it's whenever it's on, no matter what part, you're jumping in and you're watching to the end. And I never feel that with Bagger Vance. Ever.
It's crazy.
So the follow-up to the sports movie is, because I know you mentioned Friday Night Lights. Have you ever seen the TV show?
Oh my gosh, yeah. One of my best friends, Kofi, put me on it, and I seriously didn't get anything done for like a good 2 weeks. I would just come home from practice and watch.
How long ago did you watch it though? Because it sounds like you just got into it not too long ago.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer when it came to that. I watched it last off season, so December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's easy because it's Netflix stream, so you just pop them in and away you go. And next thing you know, it's 2:30 in the morning and you got nothing done.
Exactly right. You're always wondering if you can get another extra episode in, and just trying to balance the time, and you just always pick another episode until you eventually fall asleep.
It's 3 a.m. You know what? I could probably knock out one more. I mean, there's no commercial, so it's only 40 minutes and not an hour. So I'm not going to be up till 4. That's fine.
Exactly.
And what did the last question about your Twitter stuff is? What did your fans or your followers choose for you on your new show that you're going to watch? Is it Suits or The Americans?
The majority said Suits. I think primarily because the next season for Suits is coming out in July, so they advised me that just to watch it before the next season comes.
Have you seen any USA shows? Because I feel like they're in a little league of their own.
Yeah, Law and Order SEU is one of my all-time favorite shows, if that counts. I know they show it on USA.
Yeah, they show it on USA. I would throw out my recommendation for The Americans. Very, very, very good show.
Yeah, I'm really big on like Spy and all that type of stuff. So I watched Homeland.
Yeah.
And I know it's not really, they're kind of similar. So I think I'll be really excited to watch that.
All right, so you knock out your Suits, and then the Americans by that point should be available, so you can watch that. How often do you get to watch? Because I assume like when you're on the road, that's kind of what you do. Is as you're preparing or getting relaxed for matches, that's what you do. Is just kind of unwind and you watch stuff, I guess, on your computer or your tablet.
Yeah, exactly. On road trips, we usually have time to relax, so we usually just put our feet up, rest. And I'm either doing homework or watching Netflix or just meeting up with, friends on the other team.
Wait.
So
you mentioned
I got the Netflix account, just pop in the shows that I'm watching, and it's game from there.
You mentioned homework. Are you doing the online thing?
Oh, yes. I'm doing it online through Philadelphia Community College, just a local school out here. And it's good. It helps me pass the time. And I don't know, I left UCLA early, and the whole Generation Adidas thing, I'm able to take classes and get reimbursed. So it's good. I promised my mom that I would do it if she let me go pro. So it's been working out. That's
a big accomplishment. And I think that's one of those things where it says a lot about you, where you could easily just go, well, whatever. I can do that at some other point. But you're actually taking the time in season to take these online classes and to do some schoolwork.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, we have so much downtime. Everyone thinks that our lives are so busy, but we have a lot of downtime, so it's good, just kill two birds with one stone and take advantage of the opportunity that MLS gave to me. So
this will be you might as well take it up if they're going to pay for it. You might as well let them do it.
Exactly.
So the news of today, as far as your team is concerned, is the Gabriel Farfan deal. I know that you took it hard. You've already tweeted out the good lucks and all. This is a weird situation because it's not like something where you lose a teammate and gain a teammate. It's like we just lost somebody, and now it's kind of like, all right, we got to wait till next year to see what we get for it. What are your initial thoughts on that deal for your team?
Yeah, it's always hard losing a player, especially a player that meant so much to your team. He was a great guy on the field and off the field. He's one of the funnier guys that brought the teammates together. It's tough because he was always playing out of position, and he was fighting for the midfield spot this season, but it didn't really work out his way. So I'm happy he's going to have the opportunity to finally show what he has in the midfield, because I know he's itching to play midfield again, and I'm just happy for him that he's going to get an opportunity to be close to home and play where he wants to play.
No blossoming in July, though, is what you.
Oh, exactly. No.
All right. So I know that a lot of people have asked you your D mid versus center back. The thing that people go back and forth with you on. I'm going to ask you in a different way, because it seems to me in everything that I've heard you say in blogs and in interviews is that you definitely prefer playing center mid, but you enjoy learning about playing center back, and you want to play center back, and you're happy to be there. So my question is, why is center mid to you more fun to play than center back?
Just like, cause, you can make late runs. You feel more involved, like in terms of getting more touches. Sometimes, growing up playing club, center backs were always the ones that just kick it up and defend, and it was kind of boring. But center back, the way most recently I've been playing it, it's much more to that, and it's growing on me. But center mid is my natural position where I've always played growing up with the youth national teams, even Olympic team and stuff like that, and it's just exciting to play center mid. I grew up watching Makaleli and Essien and even Desai, who actually plays a little bit of center back too. So
yeah.
It's kind of fun. So just watching those guys and playing that position, it's always fun for me to play center mid. But center back is starting to grow on me, and just dealing with forwards, runs, and taking pride in stopping the top forward. It gets fun and it grows on you.
Yeah, it's just, I was interested because, the midfield destroyer role, and the guys that you mentioned are all known as midfield destroyers, I was wondering where the fun is in that, and breaking up attacks, but I guess also being able to get up into the attack when necessary is something that is appealing.
Yeah, exactly.
My
I
favorite.
can't
Go ahead.
do that at center back. Coach Hack would kill me.
He's not letting you push forward, bringing the ball out of the back.
yeah. Just pass it to the creative guys and let them do the magic.
You know your soccer history. Again, judging by your Twitter feed, judging by the players that you just threw out there, none of those guys are considered the glamour guys, so to speak. I feel a kinship to that because my favorite player, well, the first favorite player that I kind of latched onto was Frank Rijkaard, who was like a predecessor of Desai as well, where it's a midfield guy who breaks up attacks, but then as he got later in his career, moved back to center back.
Yeah, he's a great player. I remember him from AC Milan days. I mean, I was too young to even know about him, but my dad would always tell stories about him, because I played his position and stuff like that. So I try to go on YouTube and watch his old videos. And it's just, I remember reading something like from Zidane talking about the most important player on their team when he was back at Real Madrid, and he said it was Makelele because he allowed all the other players like Figo, Raul, Zidane to, freelance. And then I read another thing about Mourinho talking about the team revolves around Makelele, and you don't get credit, with goal scoring or all the commercials or accolades and stuff, but to the fact that your teammates and the real soccer pundits and soccer fans know how valuable you are to a team. That's what I really liked about the midfield destroyer role. And recently, with these new center mids that are kind of hybrids like myself that can play center back, like De Rossi, who did it in Euros, Javi Martinez, who does it for Bayern Munich sometimes, is growing on me a lot, especially after talking with Coach Hack. He brought up Desai, just like he brought up Frank Rijkaard, that guys that played center mid and moved back and are able to be a hybrid. It just helps my confidence to continue to play center back and hopefully get better in the position.
Your coach knows you. He threw out the right names to sell you on moving back to center back.
Yeah, he knew I loved Chelsea, and that's why he's a Chelsea legend. So once he said that, I was kind of like, okay, we'll think about it. We'll see about it.
Well, you're very tuned in to the world, as far as the game is concerned, and also the history. You mentioned how your father would always talk about that. Do you think about playing center back versus playing midfield destroyer or D mid or center mid as it pertains to your national team options? Because you look at the national team now and you're like, oh, there is a number of guys who play that position. But as far as center back is concerned, it's kind of a revolving door. And do you think about that as something of, oh, okay, this is another reason why this may be a good move for me, because this might be a little bit more of a fast track to get on the national team?
Yeah, you bring up a great point. Once you get the first camp, first call up, you don't really care what position it may be in. One coach may like you as a center back, and one coach may like you as a center mid. But if you're playing on your national team, it doesn't really matter how you're playing. Jeff Cameron, who was a great center mid in the league, ended up playing center back for a year, and now he's like playing right back for the national team, and I'm sure he's not complaining. So wherever it may be to help and get seen to help your national team is a great honor, and you just got to take advantage of the opportunity that you may get.
Well, let me ask you about your dad. You brought up how he watched teams throughout the world when you were born, when you were growing up. How was he able to do that? Because I remember in the 90s, mid to late 90s, and so I assume late 90s you kind of have an awareness of what was going on. It was hard. It wasn't a YouTube where you could just go to.
I remember we would always go to my uncle's house. He somehow got all the games, one of those illegal whatever. And then my dad would VHS all the games, and we just watch them on the weekends after basketball or soccer tournaments and stuff.
So you just watch tapes of games that happened 3, 4, 5 days ago.
Exactly.
But it was awesome, and it was grainy because of the VHS tape.
Exactly. You can go back. I think if I go back home to Sacramento, my dad still has games that you wouldn't even think of that were around or could find.
And I don't know if you were like me or your family was like me. There were certain points of the game where you knew something was happening that you really liked, so you would pause it and rewind it. And then after you doing that a few million times, it would just gloss over that part.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, every time my dad watches '96 Olympic Nigeria versus Brazil, he knows the exact minute Kanu scores, so he rewinds it. My mom gets so mad. Like, we already know what happened. They won. Like, let it go.
Well, it's been great talking to you about the sports movies and about everything else, Amobi. Thank you very much for taking the time. We appreciate you checking in the Pitch Pass.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure talking to you and meeting you and everything.
How great a guy is he, huh? Amobi Okugo for Philadelphia Union. And make sure you follow him on Twitter. He's a great, great follow. And it's awesome because you could see the personality that you are reading in Twitter. And it's great to see when the guy like that kind of translates it into his regular personality. Some people on Twitter are a little bit different than they are in real life. So follow him. He's a really good guy. Hopefully now new friend of the show at Amobi, Maobi says is his Twitter handle.